It's finally occurred. We now know who the top two non-Trump Republican candidates for 2024 are. Former Vice President Mike Pence and Florida Governor DeSantis, are the two front runners in the new poll of potential 2024 Republican candidates that does not include former President Trump. A new survey obtained by The Hill from GOP pollster Tony Fabrizio, who polled for Trump's 2020 campaign, shows Pence at 19% and DeSantis at 17% support among Republican primary voters in a potential nominating contest that does not include Trump. Senator Ted Cruz is the only other contender to break double digits in the survey with 13%, which is still embarrassing because after this Cancun fiasco, you would think, he would be a lot less. Whatever, people don't care. He could leave his state for a year and they would just feel like whatever. If President Trump chose not to run, it's clear his supporters are already gravitating toward Vice President Mike Pence, Florida Governor DeSantis, and Senator Ted Cruz, Fabrizio told Politico, which first reported on this poll. The survey marks a warning sign for a slew of other possible presidential contenders who trail badly in every combination of the poll. With Trump in the race, Cruz finds himself with just 3% support, while South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, who I think said she wasn't running, I looked it up later, Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, Senators Tom Cotton and Josh Hawley, and former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo all hit just 1%. Senator Rick Scott gets 0%. Those numbers improved just slightly with Trump out of the race, with Noem and Pompeo finding themselves at 4% and Hawley at 2%. Hogan and Cotton remain at 1%, while Scott is bumped up to 1%. See, what that is that a lot of times you'll have these different, I call them like flashes in the pan, where there are, people like Cotton and Hawley and whatnot, and they get, one or two news stories a year where they're at the center of things, right? But they're never going to be the top choice. Like if Trump doesn't run, it would go to Pence, or it would go to Cruz, or it would go to DeSantis. It's not going. Cotton and pretty much everybody else are like third rate or fourth rate replacements for who the Republicans actually want. Like the voters, if they can't get their main three, four, five guys, that only then are they going to consider that lower tier of people. But again, the reason that this poll is the way it is because people like more the idea of someone running than the person actually running. So when someone's not running, they go, oh yeah, I would vote for that person. They give you, 10, 11% in the poll. Then when you actually have to go out and campaign, nobody donates. You're losing every state. I mean, look what happened with Jeb Bush. I remember it like it was yesterday. For between the 2012 election all the way up till the South Carolina race, the 2016 one, it was like watching an airplane crash. Just poll after poll, he was in charge, and then Trump gets in the race, and then it just. It would be the same thing here, where if Trump doesn't get in, some of those people will have a tiny shot because again they'll have to deal with the trio of Cruz, Pence, and DeSantis, all trying to get the Trump nipple of supporters to come to them. And then if those three are not in the race, you're going to get at least two of them for sure. But the majority of people that are in this poll don't have a snowball's chance in hell. That's the way of putting it. So they can go around and make their speeches and talk a good game about what they're going to do for the quote unquote conservative movement. But as long as the possibility of Trump entering the race is around, none of these people, bar maybe Pence and Cruz, have a needle in a haystack's chance of being the top pick over dear leader. So number 45 is gonna stay as the top person, and they can keep on hoping that their little charades over the next 4 years are going to change something. They're going to be in for a rude awakening, though. They better pray and hope he doesn't get in.